Faith is the key that opens any and every door. Peace and good day, my brother and my sister. It's your bro Gadimshi here with Lightpowr, Christ consciousness, helping the body of God remember thyself. Hear this by the Spirit of God. Yesterday we was having a super jam shabuzi over here on Instagram Live, and a brother was in there who's talking about what is faith, and he don't really believe in faith because he gave his reasons and everything. It's recorded on a replay, go watch it. But he was getting to a conclusion that faith is something that is done without reason. So he was making a association. He was like, so I created an analogy saying that a person was going through a desert and they were expecting to find food because they were starving, and they was just hoping to find something. And so they walked a certain way where they felt led to go because they felt like there's going to be food there, and found some food there. And so he was making a correlation. He was saying, so the person has faith because they want food, so they go to the bottom of an ocean to get it, or the bottom of a swimming pool to get it. And I'm saying, no, that is not the association. It is not something that is done without intelligence. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's done with intelligence, but without logic. You see what I'm saying? Because the intelligence is the guidance of the Spirit. The intelligence is the sight that you've seen. The intelligence is the evidence that is established. What is the evidence that is established? Whatever you've conceived that you desire to see, and that you see even though it has not yet met your hand as a desire. And so faith is the evidence of what you received. God told me this is a summary. I dreamt is a summary. The simple fact that God has allowed you to see anything, you have to understand that there's purpose in everything. And so if you're able to see an outcome that you've desired, or you have desire for, or you have, oh, if that happened, I'd be happy. You got to take that as an invitation. That's a voucher. You feel me? I got to hit y'all with all the words I'm saying right now at this time. Lord, that's a voucher. And so what is a voucher? Well, if you have a voucher, you basically trade in the voucher for whatever it represents. You feel me? And so if I was walking on this trail like this, you feel me? And I said, nah, I want to be riding a bicycle on this trail. And I found a place they're giving out bicycle vouchers. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up in there. I'm going to hand them my bicycle voucher and tell them, look, hey, I want one of them ones with an electricity motor on the back. You feel me? For the back wheel. Y'all got those? Yeah, I've seen them jump. Oh, y'all got those. Oh, y'all got them on the front wheel too. Give me one of those. You trade it in for what you want. Okay, boom. So when the Spirit of God, your inspiration, the Spirit of God, your intuition, Spirit of God, your higher self, Spirit of God, I am, Spirit of God, I am, Spirit of God, I am, shows you anything, you have to take that voucher and be like, yes, Lord, I know what time it is. That's on the menu. That's on the production line. That's on the Amazon Prime truck right now being delivered to me. And then you walk with the assumption. Why? Because you have an expectancy. Oh, you got an expectancy? You got to be able to smell what's coming before it gets there. You smell? You can smell blessing. You smell? You can smell a good open door. You smell? You can smell prosperity. You smell? Do you smell? Because I'm smelling 1,000,000 for somebody right now in the Spirit of the Lord, and you could tap into this word by sowing into it. Straight up. Y'all have the email description, every information down below. Sow into this word. However, you got to be able to prepare yourself to smell, because you got to know what time it is. And you have to know when it's exactly time and not waste time, or else you're going to be smelling things that's burnt because you wasted time. Let me give it to you straight before I leave this video. So about this whole smelling, it's all about sensing. It's all about allowing the atmosphere to speak to you. And so you got to sense the atmosphere of your season. You got to know God don't leave nobody out. You got to know you one in the pocket of hand of God. God got you on front focus, magnifying glass, and he knows every need that you have. And so you don't have nothing to trip about. All you got to do is to speak about what you're tripping about to the one who creates things and keep them all about. You feel me? You tell the Lord what's popping in the family, what's happening in the relationship, what's happening at the job, what's happening. Let him know. All he's going to do is what he always do. Take care of everything. But you got to let him know that you know you're not dealing with it. That you know you're not fixing it and you're not signing up to solve it. You know that he got it and you're reminding him so. That's what we got to do. And that's what I do. But Lord, you seeing this? This is ridiculous. They must not know whose I am, Lord. So let them know. That's what I'll tell them. I'll be like, Father, they need you. They need some clarification. And so over the time process, any individual recognize that for themselves as well. To avail themselves, number one, to the Spirit. Number two, to echo. Then number three, to focus with the evidence. Keeping the evidence in front of you. Walking with the evidence. Remembering. Oh no, I know what this is all about. Oh no, I can sense what's happening this season. This season has to feel like this. It has to go like that. Because I need this for this, for this, for that, for that, for this. And the Lord going to show you. It's just all about recognizing that there's no moment or time that is absent of his. So it's always present. Tap in. Tap in. Stay tapped in. I love you guys with the love of Christ. So the thing about it was, when the brother mentioned that on the live, it let me know what people think about spirituality, because they think it's hocus pocus. They think it's hocus pocus, and that shit blows my mind, bro. I mean, if you want hocus pocus, you've been watching that shit on TV since you was fucking born. That's hocus pocus. You know what I'm saying? TV is hocus pocus. You really want manifestation? That's the Spirit of God. That's Christ. That's love. That's faith. But these people think it's hocus pocus. So when he came on there and he was describing what his perception of faith was, he was saying that he just thinks that there's a whole bunch of blind people who are following nothing. That's basically what he was saying. And I was like, no, everybody's following something. And that one thing is the Spirit of God I am. And the thing in which they're seeking in speech of God is what they want God to create for them. So the faith is always towards something. It is never fucking blind. It always has a divine intention or a desired outcome, but how it sees or how it seems to show is the blind part. I don't know how that shit's coming, but I know what is coming. And so I think it's highly evidential how an individual who is any form of spiritual can be more of a progressive unit in the society. Because in order to be spiritual, you have to be asking the Spirit of God, the I am, source, creator, universe, to develop or demonstrate something that you're not already seeing. And in order for you to see something beyond what's already fucking around, you got to have a lot of bit of intelligence. And not a lot of people actually to seem like they have that, but I would really hope that everybody do. But it don't seem like that. So I'm not going to judge you just because of how it seemed like, because maybe it's a little switch up on there. You just have to flip it and then bam, it's back on. But I recognize that intelligence and spirit of living God I am. And I know I am the most intelligent being walking on the earth right now. And I'm not comparing myself to anything, because I am all of that. And that's nothing else I could be. And so I would hope that my brother and sister remember that as well, because that's the template and everybody's walking around with it. And so you should be able to utilize your mind to see what is not there. That is a mark of a spiritual being. Should be a mark of somebody who knows Christ or walk in spirit or is a follower or a disciple of whatever. Because that's what the world needs. The world needs the ability to fill up all these spaces and not to be standing there pointing fingers, complaining and damning things because of what we're seeing. That's what most people are doing, even in Jesus' name. But what you need to be doing in Jesus' name is walking like you know I am the Lord, and be the Lord in which you are, because there's nothing else God is doing besides recreating and happening him and herself on the earth, continually to expand and express the divine qualities of love, intelligence, and unification of life. And so we better be all up and involved. I don't see nothing else to do. I'm a little bit bored walking around. doing it by myself. So what I'm gonna do is duplicate myself and do it with more of me, and see if I can have some fun. Damn. I love you guys with the love of Christ. And with that being said, be sure to tap in with us on August 31st on Instagram Live and YouTube Live, because I'm going to be sharing with y'all testimony of the living Spirit of God. And it's going to be so controversial that everybody has to be there. And also bring some tea, or bring something to drink, or bring your lunch, because we got to go there with this one. And it's just going to be a celebration of testimony, and then it's going to be very, like I said, what's the word? Whatever that word was, because God is doing new things. And I got to give thanks to the entire community, and I got to give thanks to the Most High. And then I'm going to pat myself on the back for obedience. You feel me? Gang, 11-1. That's exactly the timer as soon as I looked at the phone. 11-1, and that's exactly what it was. God opened the door and I walked into it. I mean, that is exactly what happened, and I needed y'all support in order to do it. So be sure to be there, and the benefit is everybody benefits. You feel me? From this work that God did. So super excited to testify about the living God, how God preserved his own, and he really shows up for every single one who knows him. All his children, all his expressions of self, everyone, he shows up. The way that he shows up, you may be asking, yes. The way he shows up is as people. The way that he shows up is as proper circumstances or divine outcomes. The way that he shows up is by energy, information, stimulation, inspiration. I mean, there's not a way that he's not showing up. But it's difficult for people to recognize, let's say, the Almighty, or let's say the living Spirit. That's why I like to say the living Spirit of God, because every time people talk about God, a lot of times they always talking about God from some time, instead of right now in this moment, at this moment of time. You feel me? Because it's like, wait, why are you looking back for God? No, God is right here. I am God. And so you got to recognize the Spirit of the living God. And then when you have relationship with the Spirit of the living God, you recognize yourself from how God sees you. And you'll see how you were looking at yourself too. And as you grow at a more evidential, in a more evidential way. Like when somebody's growing and they're like 10 years old and they're like 5 feet, and they hit 17 years old and now they're like, 6 feet. It's like, wow, he's a tall young man. You see the growth because it's evidential in the human body. But at a certain point, the body doesn't continue to grow anymore. So the person could be 20 years old and the same height they was when they hit 17 years old, because they never grew since then, right? Now they're 30 years old, they haven't grown since then. Now they're 50 years old, they haven't grown since then. It's still the same height, right? But other elements of our being grows. And then when you walk with God, you are going to see the evidential growth in your spirit, which is your ability to recognize spirit, to abide spirit, to select spirit, in the sense that nothing else chooses for you. Not the simple fact that they're talking about what's happening on the news is going to choose for you. Not the simple fact that they're talking about what's going to happen in this event and that event and this war and this. And no. You are declaring something like God is saying. You're not letting the environment tell you anything. Environment doesn't have nothing to suggest. God only has the suggestion. The environment is just replaying and repeating what has been said. God has a new word. So I'm not asking the environment anything. I'm telling them everything. And I don't give a fuck which one I'm in, because it doesn't matter. I all belong to my Father. And so that's why I embrace the term walking around like a Bluetooth speaker, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm walking around Bluetooth and what God told me, because that's my business. I'm not running out of money by not doing what he says. That's running out of money, if you want to consider what this conversation is. Or that's running out of energy. For me. People have their own type of stuff, whatever. As soon as he tell me something, that's just on my absolutely now list. You feel me? Because that's my obedience, and I live here. I live at Obedience Boulevard. You find my blue house. And then you'll also find next to it, you're going to find my dome home, which is a little tan cream color. You feel me? That's made out of aircrete, and it's super, super dope. It's big, too. I know it's big. It's the second house, but it's big. I know. Yeah. However. So with that being said, family. Oh, butter. Cicada? Okay. That's a message for y'all. What's up, cicada? I don't know which one y'all are this year, but this time, but it's a little bit of y'all out here. However, family. So be sure to be here August 31st. I'm going to select the time a little bit closer, and I'm going to start posting about it. So it'll be in the community tab on YouTube, and it's also going to be on the post on Instagram. And we just going to celebrate the Most High. And we're going to give thanks. And we're going to celebrate ourselves. And we're going to grow and nurture in God. And we're going to become more like God every day. Like we've been doing. More of ourselves. Love you guys so much. I don't know. Was there something else you wanted to say in this video, Lord? That's why you got me on? Faith also shows up when you're trusting that you're always being guided, because faith is also the evidence of the knowledge of what God has already done or said. And so when you know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, your faith is in the situation where this shit look like busted elbows and broken toenails and a whole bunch of nonsense, trash cans and a whole bunch of nonsense. You can know that I'm gonna get through this shit, and this shit's supposed to do something good for me. That is faith right there, just the knowledge of that. People want to go through it and get through it, and they say they just overcame a circumstance. But faith is in the moment of. Faith is in the happening now. And that's why in Scripture gave you the terminology of now faith. It's not a faith that's something you have in your pocket. It's something that you're being while you're walking. You're walking in the expectation of this is what God told me. Or in the expectation of, I know God's showing up for me. In this, or in that, or in this, or in that. And it's just constant knowing of who owns all of this. And that's my Father. Anything else, Father? That was definitely important. I'm happy you paused me for that one, Lord. That was important. Anything else, Lord? He said, show y'all. I like to walk here, take walks, you know. So take a deep breath. Allow yourself to feel loved because you are. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Peace and love.